Hello, Hassel from House Reviews here for a review that in many ways is going to be very, very complicated. Like by complicated, I mean uh, trying to explain my overall opinion at the end. Here we go. A film that has left a lot of people divided for a second time around. Yeah, but I think it's more to say, I think everyone knows which side it is majority are on. Joker, Folie Deux, or Folie Deux, whatever. I can't pronounce it properly. The sequel to the Oscar-winning first film back in 2019, directed by Todd Phillips and starring Joaquin Phoenix as uh, as his own iteration of the Joker that we follow throughout the whole entire film. Yeah. Now let's just start off with this. I did, as you, I'm not sure how many of you would remember, but I did review the first film back in 2019. And I did not like it. So I appreciate a few things. I liked Phoenix as I liked the makeup. I liked some. I liked the unique takes as unique directions it took. But I just didn't. I was I just didn't like it. And many people either liked the first film or didn't like it. But majority of but yeah, and I was in the but majority of people really liked it compared to those who didn't. And it was definitely an artistic film, and I do see why the fans of it love it. But I wasn't too much of a big fan of it. I didn't like the story too much. I and then I didn't think I didn't like how they include Bruce Wayne or the Wayne family in general. I thought they could have left that out. So I will say Robert De Niro, who I didn't really think uh, was really pointless, and I actually have grown to like him a bit more thinking back. Um, and I liked there was just some things I felt like could have been rewritten with that, at least in my view. But I do again, I have started to like it more, but I'm still not a big fan. Now going into this film, even though I didn't like that no, the first Joker, I was optimistic with this. I was thinking, okay, let's see how this goes. Maybe after watching this, I might have a different opinion of the sequel compared to my thoughts on the original. And, well, going into this, even though I did look into all the reviews and all that, it's clear to say that, once again, this film is split, with majority of, between those who like it and those who don't like it. But in this case, the majority of people say they don't like it. Um, and I can definitely see where people are coming from with this. However, um, I was we'll get to that anyway, but yeah. So basically, this follows up from the events of the first film, a few years apart with Arthur Curry, who aka the Joker, in prison, and is about to be put on trial for his murders about I think it was 10 years ago. They said I forget how long. And his attorney. Uh, he's assigned an attorney, and after he's deemed to be mentally sound to take place in to be on stand, and it looks like he's adapted well to to be in prison. He's got a few people who he can relate to a little bit with, and and apparently he's been deemed as a model prisoner from some of the guards. No, I don't really think they're really on his side too much. Yeah, um, and as he's getting closer to his trial, he meets at the prison choir a a young inmate known as Harleen Quinzel, or Lee as he's known, played by Lady Gaga. Um, and it seems she was inspired by the Joker and appreciates what he did. And advises him to, be who he was meant to be, aka, well, be the killer clown that he became at the after everything he went through. And after being going through a couple of days on trial and learning a bit about Quinn, what Quinn is, who Quinn actually is, after being deceived a little, and yeah, um, it's up to Curry has to decide whether he wants to be uh the go back to being who he was or his personality, or fully become the Joker and as his true one or whatever. Yeah, it gets really really complicated. So I guess we should start with what I guess I should mention is that I looking over my notes from the first film, I actually do have a few more positives I can say about this. Well, not much, but I don't know. I do like some things. I mean, I like the opening animated recap in the style of a Looney Tunes short, summarizing the end of the first film. Uh, the con with the Joker's shadow being the villain. I like that. That was really fun, and I watched it with my grandparents. While and yeah, they loved it too. I the music numbers have been getting a lot of criticism, to be honest, when it comes to how they were handled. And yeah, I will say that not all of them uh, are good, but there are some I like. And the choreography and the stage design, all that really do work with some of them. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the chemistry between Phoenix and Gaga. It seems like they both really do fit together, and I can see why Todd Phillips picked Gaga to play this version of Harley Quinn. She doesn't become Harley Quinn, I will say. Um, I don't know if they're ever going to do a sequel. I don't think they will. Phillips and Phoenix have said they don't want to do it, and wait, we'll get to that. Yeah, I buy the chemistry. Um, and it is clear to see just how much uh, Gaga's Quinn was influenced by Joker, by Curry's actions in the first one, which is good. Sort of. And I gotta give appreciation. They don't mention anything about the Wayne family. I was just like, yeah, I gotta give credit to that. I mean, I was, as you know, as I said, for one of my main problems with the first film was the inclusion of the Waynes and all that. So I was like, yeah, can you give me a break of them? And I'm just glad they didn't actually mention them at any points. Especially with what was okay with fant one of the potential fantasies that Curry has is when he got after he killed De Niro in the first film. It was he had a fantasy where he was cheered by all these clowns and wearing masks that he wore when he was being a clown as a job, and you could see one of them kill Bruce's parents, and I was glad they didn't do anything of that, which kind of makes me feel like they didn't go that route. Okay, it didn't go exactly that. I was just like, thank goodness. Yeah. Yeah, and I should mention, for a large portion of this film, um, I was actually really enjoying it. I actually was saying I was liking it more than I did the first movie. I was enjoying what they did and everything. I felt, yeah, I could, and it's not to say I didn't feel there were problems. I should go over some of them. I will say some of the ambiguity from the first film is taken away. Like Curry's neighbor, who he had a romantic fantasy with, that turned out to be not true. Uh, removing her by telling us that she was actually alive after Curry left her apartment when he realized that that whole relationship was fake or in his head. A lot of people were very. I think a lot of people wish that they hadn't um said that she was alive and nothing. Joker didn't kill her. Curry didn't kill her, but yeah, it would have been nice if they kept that a mystery. But the thing is, they mentioned she was going to be in it anyway, and I was okay with that. But some of the other stuff, maybe it could have been reworked a little bit more. Keep some of the mystery from the first film alive, and not change things. Say, oh no, that did actually it was actually that way, or something like that. Keep some of the mystery, not all of it, but yeah. Um, the fact also that it's being only set in the prison and the courtroom, really, outside of a brief time where Joker escapes towards the end of his trial, because of an explosion, which, as you know, is shown in the trailer. I thought that was. I wish they could have done more outside of it, or just saying, but it could. It is a big issue. Despite the in intro opening short animated short, I the first 10 minutes is very slow, and especially with Joker getting walking to his first meeting with his lawyer or psychiatrist. I don't know. I just can't. You could have gone a little bit more. You could have sped up a little bit more. Just saying. Yeah, I don't care if he did some good camera shots here and there. It made me think of Shawshank Redemption. I didn't really care. Um, and not all the music numbers feel natural. And well, I'm glad the Waynes aren't in it. Bruce Wayne isn't in this. Harvey Dent shouldn't have been in this at all. They could have done someone else with this. And even at the very when that bomb happens, the explosion happens, they sort of hint that he's going to become Two Face, but you didn't see anything that could lead to it. And but yeah, it was just like, oh, here's a reference. He's going to become Two Face, but did they really have to do that? I don't think so. But to be fair, all those issues I had were pretty minor, and I think had things gone according, or had things gone what I think I would have looked back, sort of put them on the side and say I still like the movie, and still say it's better. I thought it was better than the first. That is until we get to the ending, and yeah, I was really disappointed with how it ended. Like, I was like, the moment once this one comes, yes, they do sort of hint that they could end this way in one daydream, but I just did not. And there is a bit of a reference to hint that this person was going to do something towards the at a certain point in the opening, which I did miss. My grandfather pointed it out to me, but the way it ends, I was just like, really, after what you were building with this character in after what you were building over these two films, this is the ending that you're giving Arthur Curry, this version of the Joker, Arthur Curry. And I was just like, come on, look, I know there's Phoenix and Phillips don't want to do another film after this, which okay, fair. I don't know, maybe some other director could do something with Gaga's Quinzel. I don't know, do something with that old Harvey Dent. Still, I don't want them to do that, but yeah, I was not impressed. I did not think they should have ended this way. In my view, it just felt really tasteless. Like, come on, to give it that anticlimactic ending, just for a character that I have gone invested with for what he goes through over these two films. Yes, this film he doesn't really gain much uh, development, but for a character I was pretty invested with, to get for his story to end just like that, I just I was left up to very disappointed, and that is probably why I do see and I am slightly leaning towards agreeing with everyone that this is still that this is more of a failure than it is a good film. Like I'm agreeing that with a lot of other people who don't like it. I mean, I think had because the thing is, I took a whole week to since I watched it because I watched it about 9 days ago or 9, 10 days ago, and I spent all this time thinking over it to see if I could at least put that ending aside and still say I enjoyed the film. But then I started thinking of all those other problems combined with it, and I was like, yeah, I can't, I just can't say I enjoyed it. So even though I still feel like I enjoyed it more than the first film. It's still, that ending is really let this film down for me. And look, it's not the worst ending I've seen in a movie. Trust me, there have been a lot worse. In fact, actually, think back to films I've gone to watch with my grandparents. I still remember how uh, absolutely awful the ending to Don't Worry, Darling was. I'm sorry, I don't want to keep harping on that, but yeah, if you remember that review, I did not like that ending, and I still think it's gotten worse over time. But yeah, what I'm saying is, with a lot of people, it's always interesting when you watch a film that you're enjoying enough, you're liking for most part of it, but then the ending just sort of ruins it. And yeah, I guess this it's always got most of the time it's a film that you seem to be okay, not perfect, but okay, I like, but I'm still liking it until again the very end. And look, for a lot of people, I don't think the ending is the biggest issue for them with this film, but it is for me. And there probably are still a few as well, but yeah, it's unfortunate. It's just really, yeah, it's just I didn't. They shouldn't have gone that route. Um, yeah, so I guess in the end, I am agreeing with everyone. And I gotta give it a 4 out of 10 half stars. That, but here's the thing: it's only point 0.5, uh, a half, 1 point half a star behind the first film actually, because I looked over at my original score. Yeah, and yeah, I guess I'm just saying what everyone else is saying. That this is a disappointing film, but I guess I guess in many ways, people who have watched this will always just, well, they'll tell them exactly why maybe everyone's reasons to why they didn't like it is going to be different to everyone else's. I mean, and why they felt it failed. And I don't think this is the worst film of the year. Far from it. I mean, to be honest with the Razzies, I think the two big the worst films of the year will come down to either Madam Web or Borderlands. But yeah, it was about Joker. But in terms of the most disappointing film, Joker Folie et Deux is definitely the one. How unfortunate. So what's next? Well, I know I said I was hoping to review the new Superman Christopher Reeve documentary, which I do still want to see, but at the moment I can't find a cinema near me that is playing it. So if I can't review it in theaters, I'll just have to wait till it gets released on streaming services, and then I will review it for you. But yeah, that's which is unfortunate. So I guess in the end, it's just going to come down to what I do see in terms of movies I see in theaters next, what I end up watching, and but we'll still do reviews of other things. Like I might go back. I still have some plans for video games, and I still have some ideas for other films I want to review too. And plus, I'm always kind of planning ahead to what I'm going to do reviews for Christmas, which probably won't be the 12 days thing again, but I am thinking of some special big reviews for it, which including a potential re-review of some of a Christmas video I did years ago, which I kind of feel like I need to talk a bit more again about it, at least a bit more in depth. Anyway, but that's for the future. But in the meantime, well, actually, I guess 2 months. But anyway, in the meantime, House of Pass Reviews is out, and I shall see you next time. Ciao.